Adam Lowry and Mark Scheifele, two of the young stars on this Jets team. They, like everyone else, though, know that they need to be better. Just one win so far during this homestand. They have the chance to close it out, though, with a win today against the visiting Colorado Avalanche. We've got all the action coming up next. The Jets are 1-3 so far in this 5-game homestand. The Colorado Avalanche come into town with their own struggles right now, just 2 points up on the Winnipeg Jets. Avalanche had the best road record last season. They didn't suffer their first loss away from the Pepsi Center until the middle of November. This season, though, 1-3-1 to start on the road. They are coming into here off of a win, though, a 7-3 win against the Vancouver Canucks. Good afternoon, everyone. A rare afternoon game here at the MTS Center. This is the first of 5 meetings between the Central Division teams this afternoon. Colorado last season was 3-0-2 against the Jets. Now, there are no personnel changes for Winnipeg this afternoon. We could be looking, though, at a couple of different line combinations. We will have to wait and see on that. Now, as we get ready to bring in Dennis Bayak and Brian Engblom. Gentlemen, shots have not been an issue throughout this homestand. Only once have they generated fewer than 30 shots. 48 in the last game, 17 of them from that line of Matthew Perreault, Mark Scheifele, and Blake Wheeler. But they have only one goal. They need to generate more today.
Sarah, that's bang on. The challenge for this Winnipeg Jets team is to find a way to put those pucks into the back of the net. Paul Maurice knows that the players in this lineup do have offensive talents. He's seen it in the past, but Brian, he has juggled his lines going into this game today.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, they lost the last game. You're looking for a different field. There's no way you're going to touch the Scheifele line because they had more opportunities to score than all the other lines put together, I thought. Lowry, I think I need some support. You got Bufflin and Thorburn there. That's a really different look. There's a lot of beef on that line. It'd be interesting to see how much they can forecheck. And Gagliardi dropping down with Slater and Halischuk. That's a good combination. Frolik has played with Little and Ladd before, so they have a little bit of familiarity as well.
And Matthew Perreault, who had a very good offensive year last year in Anaheim, still looking for his first goal as a Winnipeg Jet.
Well, he's moved to the wing, and it's given him more ice time because Scheifele's line gets a lot of ice time. He didn't like playing wing at the beginning, but now 3 games into it, he's thinking, hey, I like this. I'd like to stay here. He's not a very big guy, so on the wing, he gets more time away from the action, so he's fresher and quicker on the puck. That's always important for every coach to see. You can see he busted out of the hole there, coming out of his zone. He knows how to make plays. He had 18 goals last year. They'd love to see him get 20, 25 goals this year for the Jets. He has the capability.
Speaking of goals, Jarome Iginla, his first 2 goals as a Colorado Avalanche came on Friday.
562 career goals. That's good for 23rd in the NHL history books. He's on a 3-game point streak, and that's because he scored 2 goals against Vancouver in the last game. 30 goals last year for the Boston Bruins. He is an intelligent player. He can play with anybody. He's notorious for slow starts. He got his first 2 goals in the last game, and Colorado is looking for him to go onward and upward from here.
To ice level we go for today's national anthems.
Please remain standing, remove your hats, and welcome your Winnipeg Jets own Stacey Natras for the singing of today's national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Winnipeg player scores 5 goals in today's game, Janice Day of Winnipeg could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner. Starting Goaltenders brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Get your favorite sub made just the way you like it. Subway, eat fresh. Semyon Varlamov, who's had a franchise high save percentage last year of .927 for the Avs, gets the start. And Andrei Pavlik, very good career numbers against the Colorado Avalanche. Pavlik gets his 7th start of the season. The referees are Tommy Cowell and Graham Skilleter. The linesmen are Steve Miller and Donnie Henderson. Johnson back into his own end for the Avs. Michael Frolik up on that line with Little and Ladd. That's the way the Jets started the season. Enstrom at the line. Back down around for Michael Frolik. Duchesne stays on him. And the Avs will get it back to the Jets line where Toby Enstrom is there to break it up. Duchesne quickly on the loose puck, but it's taken by Zach Bogosian with the lead pass for Ladd. On and off the stick of the Jets captain. Bogosian covers up. Frolik back for Ladd. He'll play for Enstrom. Jets in the middle of a line change as the Scheifele line makes its way out.
Don't be surprised that this game looks a lot like Tampa. The Jets just hope for a different result. This one will be quick tempo.
Nate McKinnon lets the slap shot go. That was blocked by Stewart. Landeskog down for Ryan O'Reilly. Tried to get it back to Ryan O'Reilly. Came to the side of the net. Came out front. Jets clear it away. Kept in there by Nathan McKinnon. Ryan O'Reilly for Landeskog. Landeskog to the line for Tyson Barrie. Barrie down low. O'Reilly. Barrie jumps in from the line. He's riding a 3-game point streak. Tyson Barrie is. But it's grabbed off by Blake Wheeler. Great career numbers for Blake Wheeler against Colorado. In for Scheifele. Scheifele wide on Barrie. Scheifele to Wheeler. Short side chance. And Varlamov with his first good save of the afternoon.
That was well done by the Scheifele line. It started with Wheeler's puck control coming out of the zone. He held onto the puck and made a really nice pass through the neutral zone, and then it paid off with the play behind the net from Scheifele back to Wheeler. Watch Wheeler here. Watch him just hold on. A little traffic, fakes a couple of guys. There we go. We're on the rush. That's what we want. We want Scheifele to have the puck, stops, puts on the brakes, comes back the other way. There's Wheeler open on the short side. That is really well constructed. There is really good communication there. It ended up with a very dangerous shot on net.
Adam Lowry out with Dustin Byfuglien and Chris Thorburn. And you want to talk about a heavy line, 702 pounds between the three of them. Adam Lowry at 6'5", plays for Byfuglien at 6'5". Byfuglien spins it back down low. Thorburn's a small guy on the line. Thorburn in on the forecheck. He'll take Mitchell out of the play. Byfuglien has the puck. In for Thorburn to the forehand, and he couldn't get shot through. Lowry back for Postma. Back for Klitzum. Klitzum tried to get it to the front of the net. It got blocked. Klitzum is on it again. Thorburn, the shot deflected by Byfuglien wide. Postma's in from the line. Byfuglien jams at it. And finally grabbed and cleared out of harm's way by Landeskog. Gets it outside the line, and now play is stopped at the Avs blue line.
Oh, pretty big guys. They move pretty well, don't they? That was about quickness more than it was that size and pounding people along on the wall, which I'm sure we'll see later. But putting these three guys together, oh my goodness. And you added up all the numbers very nicely, Dennis. I'm impressed, although probably Buff numbers are based on rumors because we're never quite sure exactly how much she weighs, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea. Look at them on this last shift, though. The exchange coming out of the corner, that's some terrific stuff there. Thorburn just couldn't put it in on the short side. Great first shift for the big line.
45 hits between the three of them. That is 24 of the Jets' hits this year coming off that line now as Paul Maurice has put Byfuglien along with Lowry and Thorburn together as a unit. Slater out now with Halishchuk and Gagliardi. Nick Holden skates it out of his own zone for the Avs. Holden squeezed to the near side, turns it over, and Gagliardi, the former Avs draft pick, plays it back in. It's stolen by the Jets. Here comes Gagliardi. Frolik to the net. Little from the line, the blast. That got stopped in front. Frolik is on the loose puck. Back for Brian Little. 4 goals on the year for Little. Leads the Jets in that category. Little looking for some ice. Throws it to the front of the net. Toby Enstrom with 6 assists. Leads the Jets in scoring. In the slot. Never did get to Frolik. Now it does. Little. Frolik. Enstrom. Frolik. And down for Ladd. Ladd trying to work it off the corner boards. Enstrom is in from the line. Enstrom for Frolik. Off his stick, and Enstrom is there to cover up. Briere couldn't get a stick on it. Ladd does. To the front of the net, cleared away. Bogosian with a rolling puck, trying to get it down low, and now it's grabbed off and cleared by Marc-Andre Cliche for the Avs. Avs turning over on a line change. Trouba to Ladd. Ladd the wrist shot blocked by Johnson. Ladd goes in after it. And Erik Johnson is there to clear. Some room for Duchesne. Matt Duchesne with a Ginla cross-ice pass. Hayda jumped in on the line. Back in front to a Ginla, and Pavlik got a piece of that. Hayda for Duchesne. Watched by Zach Bogosian. Up for Blake Wheeler. Wheeler for Scheifele through the middle. Pulls away from Ginla and sends it in. Scheifele and Erik Johnson to the backboard. Scheifele lost his footing and fell. And it's brought back out by the Avs. Tanguay. Tanguay drops it back for Erik Johnson. For Ginla. Tried to go to the backhand and then to the forehand and couldn't control it. Scheifele pulls up. He gets pressured. Scheifele maintains control. Through for Byfuglien. Byfuglien after it in the corner. Byfuglien in with a good check on Brad Stewart. Stewart, the veteran, closing in on 1,000 NHL games. Sends it up the boards to John Mitchell, and Mitchell will play it deep. Klitzum taken to the backboards. Klitzum has the puck come to him. Plays it around the boards, but Barrie will hold it in. At the side of the net for Max Talbot, cleared away by Postma. And Thorburn is on it. Thorburn off the boards. Tyson Barrie had 3 assists in the game Friday in their win over Vancouver. Such a great start to the year last year for Colorado. They went 6-0 and 12-1. It has been a slower start for them this season. And just as the Winnipeg Jets have struggled offensively, so have the Avs. In on the forecheck, Halischuk to the backboards they go. Zach Redmond in that pile-up, the former Jet. To the line it comes to Mark Stewart, whips it down low. Gabe Landeskog ahead for Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon to the line in full flight, that's as far as he gets. And Trouba will send it ahead for Gagliardi. Gagliardi to center ice, no further. Slater's on the puck. He got bumped there by Landeskog. Through the middle, deflected in by Gagliardi, and that line will head to the bench on the change. Frolik is in with a bump. And that forces a turnover. Little the lad! And it was just in behind him. Bogosian to the front, score! Good forechecking leads to a chance that leads to the Jets opening the scoring in this game.
Tremendous flow to this hockey game. Exactly the way the Jets want to play. They get in on the forecheck here. Good job by Frolik laying the body, and then it was also Little following up in that direction. They get it back to the point, then Andrew Ladd just gets positioned in front of the net, and a really smart shot from the point from Bogosian. Keeps it low. He sees Andrew Ladd is in front of the net. There are a couple of possibilities for deflections, but it's Ladd who gets it.
Fourth time this season and second time this season that Andrew Ladd has opened the scoring in a hockey game. Ladd, second of the year. The Jets are up 1-0.
Not afraid to go into the tough areas. That was the turnover in the corner, though, that was created by Little and Frolik. Frolik was actually trying to pass the Ladd. I think it was a little bit behind him, but it went to the point. Ladd went to the front of the net and got direction with the redirection. Great pace to this game, Dennis. You must have been working in your aerobics in the gym yesterday, because you're not even breathing heavy.
We were expecting a fast pace to this game, Brian, and these two teams didn't disappoint. They're both coming off Friday's game where each had a season high shots on goal. 48 shots Friday for the Avs in their win, 42 for the Jets on Friday in their loss to Tampa. Ladd for Bogosian. On to Brian Little. Barges his way in. Bogosian heads to the front of the net, gets spilled, draws a penalty. As to the penalty box will be going Brad Stewart for taking down Zach Bogosian, who was trying to get to the front of the net.
Frustration already for the Colorado Avalanche. A couple of sour faces on the forwards of the Colorado team because they had something going on the first fast break, and now it's broken up by Stewart.
Number 17, it's too much for France.
Taking an interference penalty. The Jets have had really quick feet in the offensive zone in particular, and that's what draws a lot of the attention. There's the penalty right there. It was an interference penalty. It looked like Stewart was trying to get body position, but definitely got carried away.
Bogosian appears to be okay. He was a little doubled over when he made his way to the Jets bench. Cleared down the ice, so the Jets get their first power play of the afternoon. Toby Enstrom leads the Jets in power play time at 4 minutes and 34 seconds per game. And the man in the penalty box, Brad Stewart, leads the Avs in penalty kill time at over 3.5. Here comes Byfuglien. And that pass deflected away. Good stick there by Marc-Andre Cliche. Enstrom starts the power play. Scheifele to Wheeler. In with Matthew Perreault. Wheeler pulls up. Finds Enstrom at the line. Enstrom tees it up. Down for Wheeler to the goal line. Scheifele brings it to the front. And a good save by Varlamov on a good play by Scheifele. Kept in at the line, but the Avs pressure, and it's taken by Tanguay, and he'll get it down the ice.
We talked about it last game. Coming off the half wall, I think, is often the most effective thing. And you saw Wheeler go to the half wall and then throw it down low. It opens up that down low play for the quick jam.
Frolik in full flight, drops for Ladd, off the back post looking for Little, and it skipped over his stick, and then a fortuitous carom off the official skate, and the Avs are able to clear. Enstrom with the long lead for Ladd, flips it through to Frolik. He got stopped, and first on the loose puck was Nick Holden, and he'll clear it. Avs penalty kill, they've killed 27 of 31 coming into this game tonight for an 87% success rate. Byfuglien's going to play this all the way back, and Andre Pavlik will leave it for Zach Bogosian, dying seconds of the power play. Jacob Trouba goes wide. Trouba That shot is off a stick and high. One shot on that power play for the Jets. That from Scheifele. Thorburn in front. Trouba's down low. Lowry got a whack at it. Another shot by Lowry wide. Mark Stewart in from the line. Behind for Lowry. He'll let it go to Thorburn. Thorburn for Trouba. Trouba through traffic that got blocked, and Landeskog will flip it out the center ice.
2 shots on that power play. One was on Pavlik, though.
Yes.
Good thing he was paying attention.
Yeah, Bufflin was testing Pavlik's stick handling abilities. I'm not sure of all the practices we've been to, Brian. I've seen a power play breakout where it started by Andre Pavlik.
Yeah, good point. Should be the last one, too.
Yes. I don't think we'll see that one at practice. Bogosian for Enstrom, for Brian Little. In for Michael Frolik, and Tyson Barrie is there to take over. He almost overskated it. And Tyson Barrie, coming off an injury last year, will put this off a skate and in. Jerome Iginla's after. We talked about Iginla's 2 goals as he jumps up on the all-time scoring list, passing Guy Lafleur and Mike Modano with those 2 goals on Friday.
Iginla's been with Duchesne pretty much the whole season so far. They're starting to get some pretty good chemistry. There was another attempted long stretch pass. Colorado loves to do that to try and spread out the Jets.
Scheifele, the back pass to Matthew Perreault. Former MVP of the Q. Perreault will dump it in. Redmond to the line, kept in by Klitzen. And Perreault comes out, clears the zone, and play goes on. As we near the 11-minute mark of the opening period. 1-0 Jets on the goal by Ladd. Bufflin sends it in, takes a butt there from Jan Hejda. Hejda went down. Johnson averaging just under 22.5 minutes of ice time is Erik Johnson. He leads the Avs in that category. Erik Johnson shot wide. Trouba takes it off the backboards. Sweeps it up the boards for Thorburn. Johnson is in from the line. Has a man in front, and a great job by Jacob Trouba to tie his man up in front. It remains 1-0 Jets. By Toyota's Happy 50th event, celebrating 50 great years in Canada.
Jacob Trouba's awareness in his own zone is something that showed up as a rookie last year. Watch this last shift. Does a nice job fending off opponents here, getting the puck along the wall, but it gets turned over. Watch him go back to the front of the net. He's aware enough, really strong on his stick. That's a goal against if he doesn't play that way. That was McKinnon, who had the open side of the net and couldn't get the shot away.
Controlled off the face-off by the Avs, and that gets deflected up and out of play. Tonight's Keys of the Game brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
Limit quality chances against. The Jets have to do that. After what happened with Tampa, they didn't give up a lot, but too many of them were quality chances. And two-way game for Colorado. They have to remember to play in their own zone. They like to play with the puck, but you got to play without it too.
Jets have already had 16 shot attempts in this game, but only 5 shots on goal. 8 blocks in this game already for Colorado. Bufflin deflects this out to center ice. Bufflin trying to catch up to it. Cody McLeod takes it, and McLeod will send this back into the Jet zone. Long lead pass, Klitzen for Thorburn, deflects it in. Now the Jets in the middle of a change as Thorburn and Bufflin have made the change, and now Adam Lowry will head to the Jets bench. Barrie for Duchesne. Duchesne, the youngster out there with the 2 veterans, Iginla and Tanguay. Iginla back for Duchesne. He gets rubbed out. Puck comes back to him, tried to center it. That got blocked by Toby Enstrom. Enstrom back for Bogosian. Tanguay in on the forecheck. Iginla over to pressure Enstrom. Ladd tried to send it cross ice. Little finds Frolik. Frolik takes it on the sharp angle backhander, and he chipped it wide. Andrew Ladd back to Frolik. Tried to get it back to Little. Iginla breaks it up. Ahead for Tyson Barrie, and Barrie finds Tanguay. Alex Tanguay looking for some help. Ladd ties him up. Tanguay chops it down low, and Iginla goes in after it. Iginla, initially a Dallas draft pick. Nathan McKinnon to the front of the net. and he couldn't get a shot away, and the Jets turn it back up the ice with Ladd. Eric Johnson through for Ryan O'Reilly to McKinnon. The shot blocked. McKinnon the rebound, and he couldn't toe drag it. Ladd, Scheifele chips it past Eric Johnson. Jan Hejda closes in. Scheifele sends it around for Wheeler. Wheeler sends it back to the line to Jacob Trouba. There's some room. The blast blocked in front of the net by Eric Johnson.
Good
by
smart,
Jan Hejda.
Good smart shot by Trouba, though. He had time and room. They're getting them through. There was good traffic in front.
Scheifele down for Blake Wheeler. 6 goals in 5 games against the Avs last year for Wheeler. For Klitzum. Down low to Matthew Perreault. Chopped away by Holden. And out to center ice it goes. Lot more action than 5-3 shots in this game.
That's for sure. I'll be out of here by 3:30 if it keeps like this.
Zach Redmond. I think we have to stay till 4 or else we don't get paid.
Okay.
Nick Holden, the long lead pass. Max Talbot is in behind Klitzum. Talbot in, and Pavlik makes the save. As Talbot got in behind Grant Klitzum. Talbot off the boards, heads to the front of the net. Puck did not get there, and Lowry plays it ahead for Dustin Byfuglien. Back out to center and then right back into the Colorado zone.
Colorado tried 3 or 4 stretch passes. That one to Talbot was the first one that worked. Klitzum wasn't paying attention. There's another.
There's one for Cody McLeod as he got in behind Paul Postma. McLeod looking for that return pass from Jamie McGinn. Gagliardi's trying to block it at the line in the slot. Marc-Andre Cliche couldn't get much on the shot, and Mark Stewart sends it around. It goes off the dasher board and out of play. So Ondrej Pavlik has not been overly busy, but he's had to be sharp. Talbot with the chance. Captioning for today's game delivered by Pizza Hotline. Order the hotline heavy today. Big taste, small price.
Here's what the Jets are looking at when they play against Colorado. That's Matt Duchene. He likes it at full speed. He'll drive the defense back, makes slick little plays, and gets the puck to the net. But the other thing they've tried is the stretch passes. This last one worked really well. Klitzum wasn't quite aware quickly enough about Talbot, and then Talbot was able to cut in and get a free one in on Ondrej Pavlik. Talbot getting a little bit of affirmation there from the coaching staff, Tim Army, after missing that chance.
Zach Redmond plays this around the boards. Marc-Andre Cliche gets it for Cody McLeod. Back to the blue line, to the front of the net. Stopped by Paul Postma. Bounces around, and Matt Halischuk will get it out to center ice. Gagliardi goes after it. Gagliardi couldn't get it deep, and Marc-Andre Cliche will send it back in. Daniel Briere on the 4th line here for the Colorado Avalanche. One of their additions during the offseason. Gagliardi and Redmond. Redmond, a former Jet. Gagliardi, a former Av. Gagliardi has it behind the Colorado net. At the line for Bogosian. For Toby Enstrom. Off the stick of Briere and wide. Jets track it down, though, to the blue line. Little. Enstrom. Enstrom, a shot to the short side, and Varlamov will hang on to it. Jets pass holders, a reminder for you. Watch for the Jets Rewards bonus code during today's game. Enter the code by logging into Jets Rewards. Receive 50 bonus points, redeemable for unique Winnipeg Jets benefits and experiences. Jets Rewards, reward your passion.
Paul Maurice is being rewarded with the rejuggling of the lines. I like this little line with Frolik on it. They're much quicker than they were last game against Tampa. I thought they were a little more deliberate than they normally are. With Frolik there, it gives them that quickness and speed.
If you're just joining us, Frolik on this line, Byfuglien on a line with Thorburn and Lowry. And then Slater along with Halischuk and Gagliardi. The Scheifele line remains the same. Tanguay to the front of the net. And Duchene tied up there by Enstrom. The net gets bumped off the pegs, and we get a stoppage.
That was really well sorted out by Bogosian and Enstrom, because it was a broken play on a block pass, and Tanguay started to leave the zone. Bogosian had to sort it out first because he's the first man back. Tanguay is really slick with the puck. Look how patient he is. He's just going to dump one into the middle of the ice, and look at Toby Enstrom. Toby hauled it to get back in there, got body position on Duchesne, and prevented the play. That is outstanding stuff from Bogosian and Enstrom.
Matthew Perreault wins that face-off from Nathan MacKinnon. Perreault came into this game a little over 58% and 10th in the National Hockey League in face-off success. One of the reasons he was signed as an unrestricted free agent, an area where the Jets felt they needed some help, and he's been good in that category. Ryan O'Reilly into the high slot. Landeskog didn't get much on it, and it floats into Andre Pavlik, who will hang on to it.
Gabriel Landeskog, who became the youngest captain in NHL history last year. He's got some great talent. He is a power forward. He's got speed. He's got the ability to forecheck. He's got a toughness about him. I don't mean fighting, but hockey toughness. And he's got some pretty terrific hands as well. A lot of responsibility for a young guy to be captain, and the youngest one ever.
And what a year he led the Avs to last year. Byfuglien deflects this out to center. And John Mitchell will play it back for Erik Johnson. Grant Clitsome steps up at center, breaks that up, and it's right back into the Colorado zone. And Jan Hejda will go in after it. Hejda, initially a Buffalo draft pick back in 2003. His NHL career actually started with Edmonton. Turned over, and they ruled that this did come outside the line. Not sure that Max Talbot agrees with that call.
Yeah, just by a hair there. Boy, there's a lot of talk on the bench in this game. I can hear it, Dennis. Most of it's from that guy, Patrick Waugh. He is yelling constantly about players being aware of what he wants them to do, line changes, when somebody's going to get hit. He's more active verbally on the bench than any of the other players put together, from what I can hear down here.
NHL Coach of the Year. Duchesne back into his own end for Jarome Iginla. Iginla turns it over to Michael Frolik. Frolik sends it down low. Little jumps on it. He'll leave it for Ladd, though. Ladd tied up by Nick Holden. Duchesne for Tanguay. That pass deflected away by Little. Enstrom trying to get it to Little, does. And it's back deep in the Colorado end. Duchesne, 23 years of age, on the line with 34-year-old Tanguay and 37-year-old Iginla. Turned over at center. Here comes Duchesne. In for Tanguay to Iginla, and Andre Pavlik got a piece of that. Jarome Iginla can still shoot the puck. Back in for Duchesne, stopped, and this does come outside the line, brought back in offside against the Avs.
Boy, neutral zone turnovers will kill you every time, and the Jets had one on their last shift. When you turn it over against this Duchesne line, you're going to be in big trouble. They attack with speed. There it is right there. Duchesne in the middle playing with two crafty veterans in Tanguay and Iginla. They're going to get a shot on net pretty well every time in those situations.
We mentioned Iginla passing Lafleur and Modano on the weekend. Next up on that list for him, Sundin, and the man he was traded for is the youngster Joe Nieuwendyk.
I was thinking that when I saw that list too, Dennis.
Here comes Scheifele, gets it into the paint, and grabbed and held by Semyon Varlamov.
Good work by Scheifele there, just working hard on the turnover, making sure the puck doesn't get out of the zone quickly for the Avs. He stayed on top of it, turned it over, and all he had left to do was a little jam play. You mentioned Jarome Iginla. Let's go back to the play here. Nice job here. He gets some help. Perreault's in there. Look at how closely all three men are together. Wheeler comes in there surrounding the puck, outnumbering the Avalanche on the puck, and Scheifele takes it to the net.
Scheifele over 20 minutes of ice time against Tampa. First time this season that he's been over that 20-minute mark. Adam Lowry chases this down. He bumps into his man. That was Brad Stewart. Johnson for Stewart, deflected the center. Avs are in a change, and Thorburn will send it back for Paul Postman on for Grant Clitsome. Clitsome through the middle. That skipped off of Byfuglien's stick. They say it didn't touch it. And this is going to be an icing call against the Jets.
The Jets have been so strong in first periods in this young season so far. That's been their best period. 8 of them. Second period 4, and the third period only 2 goals. having to chase it, being down in games in the third period has to do a lot to that, because the opposing teams tend to shut down, play tighter defense, and give you fewer opportunities. The Jets would certainly like to spread those numbers out a little bit.
Postma, 20 games last year as he went through some injury problems with that blood clot. Up for Tyson Barrie. Barrie to the line. Tyson Barrie takes it wide. Stopped there by Klitzum Byfuglien. Back for Klitzum. Mitchell picks up the chase on Grant Klitzum. Jamie McGinn coming across, and he had Klitzum lined up. Klitzum gets it into the Colorado zone, hits to the bench as we're into the final minute. Mitchell overskated it. Maxim Talbot. He overskated it, has to chase it back. And now Eric Johnson's going to settle it down. But he has to turn against the checking of Michael Frolik. Up for Duchesne and on for Iginla. The trailer is Jan Hejda. Pavlik may have got a piece of that with a blocker. Iginla, penalty coming up to the Winnipeg Jets. Iginla inside the line. Varlamov to the bench for the extra attacker. And Colorado will go to the power play with 24 seconds. We'll see whether this is 2 or more.
Matt Duchene's doing his best to make it bleed right now, because if there's any blood on the scene, it ends up being 4 minutes. Bogosian in front of the net trying to cover Matt Duchene. Paul Maurice not very happy. Zach Bogosian not very happy.
4 minutes high stick.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious there. He did come up and clip him pretty good in the mouth. Watch Frolik, number 67, back and forth, left side of your screen. Just constant motion, puts the brakes on, comes back the other way. Relentless work inside the neutral zone. Look at this. The Avalanche having trouble coming through the neutral zone because Frolik was dogging the puck, and then his line mates just had to jam up the alleyways, and it made it tough for the Avs to make even one pass from their blue line to the other blue line. Great work by Frolik.
Double minor for Zach Bogosian for high sticking, so the Avs go to work on the power play. Slap shot, Pavlik the save, rebound, score! Jamie McGinn gets free in front of the net. And with 17.5 seconds left to go in the opening period, 6 seconds of the power play goes by and the Avs have tied the game.
Well, quick possession on a power play is what every team wants, and Colorado gets it basically right off the faceoff. Jarome Iginla loses the draw, but the Avs are able to control it. And because of that, they get the shot right away from Barrie. Tyson Barrie's shot is really good. The Jets don't get in the shooting lane quite quickly enough. You could see TJ Gagliardi, number 21, tried to come across and take that shot away, but he couldn't get there. The shot gets on net, the rebound comes out, and that's where the confusion happens for the Jets, and it ends up in the net.
Avs power play was 0 for 11 last year against the Winnipeg Jets, but they capitalized quickly on their first power play opportunity this season. Third of the year for McGinn, his first on the power play.
Well, in this situation, the Jets have played so well, done so many good things here, given up that goal. They're going to have to regain themselves, get that tempo back as quickly as they can.
Avs stay on the power play as it was a double minor to Zach Bogosian. Tyson Barrie to the front of the net, blocked and cleared by Mark Stewart. And the first period comes to an end. So the Winnipeg Jets get outshot 8-7. Although they did create plenty of offensive chances, a late power play goal has tied this game up 1-1. Andrew Ladd gave the Jets the opening goal, and then a power play marker late, 1-1.
Pretty physical at times in that first period too, and it was the big guy, Dustin Byfuglien, who did a heck of a job in that department. Yeah, there was quickness from the Jets, and they moved the puck around really well, but take a look at this pack on the big guy here in front of the net. A total eclipse in front of any goaltender. Don't poke the bear too often. Be careful if you're Colorado. Collision in the corner. Jan Hejda, who's a big, strong guy, found out it's really tough to knock Byfuglien over, and then Byfuglien going looking for it too. I think it's really interesting the line combinations that Paul Maurice put together with Byfuglien on the side, with Thorburn on the other side, and Lowry in the middle, as we showed you in the first period. That's a lot of beef. But I think it's changed Buff's focus. I didn't think he was very effective in the last game against Tampa, and that little line just didn't have the same kind of effectiveness that we'd seen before. So he changed it up, put Thorburn on the other side. You know Chris Thorburn will run over anybody and do what he has to. And Lowry's learning a lot about the game, a very intelligent young man who's got some size of his own.
Lowry won 4 of 5 face-offs in that opening period. Jets were very good in the face-off department. Paul Maurice has to be happy with that angle. Little was 4 for 4. Slater was 3 for 3. Matthew Perreault was 2 for 2. And Mark Scheifele 1 for 4. He was the only Jet that was below the 50 mark in the face-off percentage. Jack Bogosian starts the second period in the penalty box. Bogosian getting the double-minded for high sticking at 19:35. So Colorado with the late goal ties it up 1-1. As the Avs last year 7-1 after 8 games. This year 2-4-2. Their goal differential last year was +15. This year it is -8. It has not been the start that they had last year. Duchesne winds his way in, and Mark Stewart stands him up at the line enough to force offside against Colorado.
Well, I'm not sure the power play is feeling real good about itself in the first couple of seconds of this. Off the face-off, watch this comedy of errors. The pass across here comes off the boards. Whoop, Barry overskates it. Tanga comes over. Whoop, steps on something. Jumps over. Andrew Ladd did a good job of jumping right over him there. Otherwise, he could have hurt himself. But good for the Jets there that these guys for Colorado aren't exactly feeling it to start the second.
Winnipeg Jets generated 23 shots at the Colorado net in that opening period. Colorado 14 the other way, and 12 of the Jets' attempts were blocked. Jarome Iginla for Duchesne. Knocked off his stick by Mark Stewart. Scheifele plays it for Stewart. Tight quarters in the Jet zone. Duchesne trying to come up with it. Iginla had his stick lifted. Scheifele trying to jam it out. Gets it to the line, and it does get out. Good work there by Mark Scheifele on the penalty kill. And now Gagliardi and Slater will come out on the PK. Enstrom deflects it for Klitzum, and Klitzum will slam it off the boards and right on Semyon Varlamov.
Very sharp on the penalty kill. Scheifele was really good on that last shift, even before they got the puck out of the zone with the deflection in front of the net. Jets are sharp early. They know this is big.
Ryan O'Reilly for Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon back for Ryan O'Reilly. Tried to get it back to the line, and it gets past Eric Johnson. Gagliardi keeping an eye on Johnson. Gabe Landeskog circles. Landeskog at center. He got stopped there by Brian Little as Little now comes off the bench. One shot on that power play. There's a shot that Pavlik stops. Power play just over, and this is going to get cleared, and this is going to be icing. And the faceoff will come back into the Winnipeg Jet zone.
Mark Scheifele started off this shift, and we said how important it was for the Jets to kill off that penalty, and they have done it. Scheifele doing a terrific job of support. Look at that, down low inside his own zone, helping surround the puck, even though they are shorthanded. It's smart. And then here's on this last rush there, good shot there by Nathan MacKinnon, and the Jets are able to fend that off too and get back to even strength.
Talbot to the line. Brad Stewart, the former Regina Pat out of Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, plays it down low in the high slot. Talbot, the shot that goes off of Gagliardi and wide. Gagliardi and McGinn were traded for each other from San Jose to Colorado, with Gagliardi going to San Jose, McGinn coming to the Avs. Andrew Ladd stopped at center. Ladd keeps on trucking, and on the backhand will get it deep. Varlamov had it skipped by him. Frolik to the front of the net. That got steered away by Stewart. Ladd is on it as Little tied up Stewart. To the line to Mark Stewart. Shot to the front of the net. Little got a piece of it, not enough. Ladd, cross ice for Frolik. Jan Hejda is going to get a penalty. It's going to be for interference on Michael Frolik. And after giving up a power play goal late in the first, the Jets will get their second power play opportunity of the game.
Frolik took a hit to make a play there. He was moving to his left and along the boards. Hejda stepped up on him, and I guess he made contact before Frolik ever got a hold of the puck.
Penalty number 8, 2 minutes tripping.
Oh, it's a tripping call.
Yes.
Okay. It was close to when Frolik was just receiving the puck. There, left side of your screen, comes across and he pulls the feet out from underneath. Big chance on the power play here for Jets.
Second power play of the game. The Jets with only the one power play goal this season. That came from Brian Little on Friday. Byfuglien back for the Jets. Byfuglien back on the point. Sends it back. Dangerous back passes. Talbot almost read that. Here comes Scheifele wide. Scheifele around the net into the slot for Wheeler. Wheeler sharp angle, and that didn't get to the net. Scheifele for Wheeler. Back to Byfuglien at the line. In for Enstrom. The shot blocked by Erik Johnson. And cleared, and some room for Marc-Andre Clich. In on Byfuglien. Clich the shot. Save made by Pavelec, and Byfuglien looks for some room. The long lead pass, and Enstrom has his stick lifted by Clich. Toby Enstrom, 6 assists on the season. Byfuglien leaves for Scheifele. Scheifele through for Ladd. Ladd tried to dance his way around Redmond. Nothing doing there. And Zach Redmond, whose first NHL goal was a shorthanded goal while he was with the Jets, and Redmond rifles that one in on Ondrej Pavelec.
One of the things I really like about Mark Scheifele is when he has the puck on the attack, even at high speed, he is so calm. His motions look so under control. Takes the puck wide, threads his way through. I think it gives a calming effect to whomever he's with. He's a very confident player now. We showed in the pregame where he stick-handled through 3 guys, 1-on-3 against Tampa the other day. Got his way all the way to the net for a shot. His confidence level continues to grow.
2 shots on goal in this game for Scheifele in 8 minutes of ice time. Trouba leaves it for Michael Frolik. Plays it around for Brian Little. Little sends it back from where it came. Frolik is on it for Ladd, and back to the line for Trouba. Trouba to the front of the net, deflected, kicked away by Varlamov. Frolik for Little, trying to spin away, and the loose puck ends up on the stick of Alex Tanguay, and Tanguay will get it down the ice.
One and done, whether it's on the power play or on offense. The Jets have had an awful lot of that in the last couple of games. They need some action around the net, try and get some second, third chances.
Brian Little's on the loose puck, tried to get it out front. Frolik got knocked down by Landeskog. And Landeskog back for the Avs. Drops it off for Johnson. Quick shot. Pavelec makes the save, and it's on his right pad. He'll flip it into his glove, and Pavelec will hang on to it.
Ondrej Pavelec was a little frustrated after that first period. I watched his body language because the score was tied at 1-1, and you know he's thinking about save percentage and his stats as well too. It's all about winning the game first. He's always been a team first guy, but there is certainly some frustration level. He hasn't seen a lot of rubber, and when one goes in, you can't help but think, geez, why did that happen again?
And when your team's not scoring,
yes,
it just puts more pressure on your goaltender. Taken by Scheifele for Blake Wheeler. And Wheeler will send this out. Matthew Perreault is on it. Scheifele to the net. Perreault the shot, and that hit a leg and did not get through. Tyson Barrie. After him is Blake Wheeler. Stewart behind the net, tied up by Scheifele. Matthew Perreault is on it. Back for Scheifele. Knocked down there by Brad Stewart. Scheifele gets up and keeps on going. At the line for Mark Stewart. All sorts of traffic. And Varlamov at the top of the crease manages to take that to the midsection and hold it.
Varlamov makes a real big save there because he doesn't allow that second and third chance that I was talking about. Mark Stewart kept the puck down low. Watch Scheifele in the corner. He's going to get hit from behind. It really wasn't a tough check, though, for Stewart. Stewart let up on him. He just made sure that he pushed him down, and Scheifele got right back up with it and stayed with it, got it back to the point, and they still got a scoring chance out of it.
16 blocked shots now for Colorado. Shot by Postma. Stopped in front of the net, taken by John Mitchell. For Erik Johnson, for Jan Hejda. Jamie McGinn will deflect this down the ice. They wave off the icing. Back forward is Klitzum. Plays it around for Thorburn. Maxim Talbot takes it away from Thorburn, but now Lowry is there. Lowry off the glass and in. Byfuglien is after it. Zach Redmond first man back. Byfuglien is after him. Lowry jams it free. Thorburn trying to knock it down, could not. Stepping up there was Klitzum, chipped past him, and Maxim Talbot will carry it in. Talbot finds Holden, and then Dustin Byfuglien gets a stick in front of that shot, and that deflects way up over the netting and makes its way into the stands. Jets on TSN, brought to you by Subway Restaurant. Get your favorite sub made just the way you like it. Subway, eat fresh.
Ondrej Pavelic's numbers over the course of this season have been really up and down. It depends on the number of shots you get against you. It's how it's going to affect your save percentage. I alluded to that a moment ago. The bottom line is Tampa in the last game. And on top of that, Ben Bishop, who faced 42 shots and only gave up 2 goals and had a strong game, it puts more pressure on Pavelik because of the optics of the game.
Pavelic's numbers, career-wise, very good against the Avs. Toby Enstrom, 6 assists, looking for his first goal of the year. Slams that one on Varlamov, and it's kicked away. Avs bring it back. Jarome Iginla. Iginla tied up on the far side by Bogosian. He'll kick it ahead to Wheeler. Wheeler through for Zach Bogosian. Finds a little bit of room. Trying to get it deep. Gets some help from Perreault. In for Scheifele. Was in his skates. And the Avs will clear it out to center. Duchesne is on it. Duchesne runs into Mark Scheifele. Tanguay to the line, stopped by Enstrom. And it's back into the Avs zone where Jan Hejda will go back for it.
That was smart play by Scheifele. That is Matt Duchesne, who gets a lot of ice time. You can lay the body on him, lay him out every once in a while. Good idea. Scheifele saw the chance.
Duchesne leads the Avs in shots on goal. 31 coming into this game. Had 6 in their win against Vancouver on Friday. Stewart plays it cross ice. Ryan O'Reilly got away from Andrew Ladd, sends it in. Pavelik will snap it up the boards. O'Reilly goes after it, and now taken by Jacob Trouba. For Michael Frolik, back on this line with Little and Ladd. To the line, offside called against the Winnipeg Jets.
Toby Enstrom had a terrific chance on his last shift, jumping up on the play, but the puck was rolling on his one-timer. It made it really difficult. This changes your shot selection. He comes in, see how it's rolling? He realizes at the last minute, when the puck is flat, you can choose to do what you want. You want to go top shelf, but if you do want a rolling puck, you can lose control and blow it over the net by 3 or 4 feet. He had to hold up on that in order to control it and just get it on net. Smart by Toby. That usually goes hand in hand. Toby, smart.
Redmond back into his own zone, turns it over to Byfuglien. In front for Thorburn, cleared away. Cuts him from the line. The wrister gets through, and Varlamov is there to gobble it up.
Dennis, you and I were talking about Toby Enstrom after the last game, and you made a great comment about the fact that over the course of every year, really, Toby Enstrom, how many times can you say that, you know, he doesn't play a good game, that he was out of position, that he didn't make good plays? It's true. Maybe a couple of times a season where you say, yeah, he wasn't quite there.
Makes a terrific first pass, and his assist totals will back that up. Sometimes you wish you would shoot the puck a little bit more, but very, very steady. Very seldom out of position. Zach Redmond up the ice for the Avs. On and off the stick of Talbot. And they're going to say it never was on the stick of Talbot. And icing is going to be called against the Avs.
Patrick Roy has been extremely active in this game. He always does. He's talking all the time, yelling at his players. This was the last TV timeout. Coaching, coaching, coaching. He still has a very young crew there. He was a rookie coach last year, but after 8 years in the Quebec League with his own team that he partially owns, he knows how to handle young talent, and he was well deserving of the Adams Trophy as Coach of the Year. Did a terrific job.
Went into the Hall of Fame in 2006, and one of the great goaltenders in the National Hockey League.
Dennis, that last year's Colorado team, that was the first team since 1979 that had gone from the bottom 3 the year before to the top 3 the next year.
Wheeler. And players are very quick to give their coach credit for their success. Zach Bogosian back into his own zone. Bogosian for Scheifele into the Colorado end. Ladd and McGinn, your goal-getters in this game. Ladd early, McGinn late in the opening period. Tanguay flips this through for Iginla. Iginla goes in with Toby Enstrom. Tanguay trying to center it. Perreault has it go off his skates, and the Jets will send it back into the Colorado end, where Erik Johnson will go back for it. Trouba steps up at center and breaks that up. Trouba finds Ladd. Wrist shot by Ladd went wide. Johnson is after it. Gets pressured there by Trouba, who's still down low. Frolik in the slot. Michael Frolik shot that one wide. Frolik had 7 shots on goal Friday against Tampa and came out of it empty-handed as far as goals were concerned. Chance from in tight, and that got chipped wide as a bouncing puck ended up on the stick of Brian Little. Little and Jan Hayter are after it. Little gets inside position, gets it for Frolik. Sends it around for Jacob Trouba. Duchesne chops it past him, but Ladd backs him up. Ladd to the front of the net. Trouba's there. Trouba, who had 10 last year, still looking for his first of the year. Stopped again by Little. Ladd in on the forecheck. Oh, and the pass for Little. He had room in the slot that had missed him. Back for Iginla, for Duchesne, and Pavlik is forced to make a big save off of Matt Duchesne as the teams trade chances. Safeway's featured participating product for today's game is Old Dutch Ariba or Restaurante tortilla chips.
Jacob Trouba had good news and bad news on that last shift. On the stretch pass, he intercepts it and moves the puck up because Colorado's been trying to use stretch passes all game long. Then at the end of his shift, he's tired. And when you're tired, you don't think very well. Watch him in the middle of the ice here at the end of the shift. I'm okay, I'm okay. He doesn't look over his shoulder. Matt Duchesne jumps by him, gets a chance right at the net. Could have turned into disaster. Little's line had a terrific shift. They did great things down low, just like they did in the first period, and it almost ended up in their net.
The shift for Jacob Trouba was 1 minute and 7, and perhaps felt longer than that. Matthew Perreault tried to chip it by Tyson Barrie, could not as Barrie held his ground. Enstrom looks one way, looks the other, gets double teamed. McKinnon is on him, O'Reilly is on him, and the puck ends up on the stick of Matthew Perreault. Zach Bogosian out of his own zone. The scores between these teams last year, 3-2 Avs. They scored 2 in the third, 4-3 Avs in a shootout, 2-1 Jets in overtime, 3-2 Avs in overtime, 5-4 Jets in overtime. So it was a close series, and we should not be surprised, I guess, that this game is tied 1-1.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's a look at Ryan O'Reilly, who won the Lady Byng Trophy last year. He only had 2 minutes in penalties, and I think he got the 2 minutes in the second last game of the year. And he doesn't play an easy game. He doesn't play a less physical game. He's just very smart with his stick. He gets in on the puck, he stays away from people's feet, and he knows how to take people out correctly.
Scheifele blocks that shot from Nick Holden. Zach Redmond at center with Wheeler closing in on him. Wheeler with a couple of overtime goals against the Avs last year. Marc-Andre Cleach to the front of the net, kicked away by Andre Pavlik. Holden holds it in at the line. Cody McLeod out of Binscarth, Manitoba, the former Portland Winterhawk, plays it around the boards as it comes back to the blue line. Nick Holden plays it down low to the front of the net for Briere, and save made by Pavlik, and he will hang on. 2 wins on the year for the Avs, and Danny Briere has both game winners.
Danny Briere was brought in for his experience, especially in the playoffs. He's played 124 playoff games. That's a pretty big number. He's got 116 points in those 124 games. Look at Joe Sakic, the executive VP and general manager of this team. He and Patrick Waugh together have really remade the team since the beginning of last year, especially.
Mitchell wins the draw for Jan Hayter. Down for Jamie McGinn. Turns it over to Paul Postma. Postma's pass intended for Lowry doesn't work, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Lowry and Postma out there together, and Gagliardi and Postma were coached by Adam Lowry's father, Dave Lowry, with the Calgary Hitmen. As we look at Adam,
Lowry's learning every shift. Those big wingers we talked about, that'll help him play the big man's game, which they would like to see out of him. He's not there for scoring so much as about positioning and getting some offensive chances for sure, but playing a big, hard, heavy game.
Lowry's stick breaks on the face-off, clips him. Down low for Dustin Byfuglien. Byfuglien gets tripped up on the play by Erik Johnson. Play goes on. Mitchell tied up by Lowry, who has a new stick. Now Byfuglien picks up the chase, so does Thorburn. Thorburn has it, trying to get it back to the line. He was on his backhand, didn't get enough on it. And Maxim Talbot carries back with Jamie McGinn. McGinn has the goal in this game for Colorado. At the line for Barrie, blocked by Lowry. And it caroms out the center ice.
That one hit him in the foot. I think it's stinging right now. He's right by the bench, so he goes off. But that was a nice block. On the last face-off, though, unfortunate for the linesman, Steve Miller, who got hit right in the ear, I think. A stick with Lowry. Watch this. The butt end of the stick comes. Oh, that was like a right cross, right across the jaw. Linesmen are pretty tough. He shook it off.
Referee, I believe it was Chris Rooney last night.
Yes,
had a couple fingers busted. Came out
hit with a puck.
And came out to referee the third. Shot from Trouba, blocked in front. Oh, just as Gagliardi was trying to get it to settle down, the Avs cleared. This remains a 1-1 tie. Iginla for Tanguay. Pavlik will play it for Mark Stewart. Up the boards for Gagliardi and on for Matt Halischuk. Halischuk to the line. Halischuk tried to get it to the front of the goal where Slater was headed. It got blocked, and Tyson Barrie takes it, puts it off the glass, kept it at the line. This is going to be whistled down as Mark Stewart punches it ahead, and the Jets control, and that'll be called a glove pass.
The tempo of the game has slowed down a little bit. Coaches don't like the breakneck speed stuff. We do. It was a fun first period to watch, but when it gets out of control, which happens when you're trading chances, you could tell that both coaches reinforced the defensive side of the puck to both their teams.
Slammed in by Zach Bogosian off a shin pad. Erik Johnson with Andrew Ladd all over him. Frolik is in there as well. Frolik is tied up by Hayda. Tanguay up the board. Should it come that way? Zach Bogosian holding the line. Bogosian for Frolik. Back for Brian Little, away from Duchesne. Little spins and fires. And that goes off Duchesne. And pouncing on it is Semyon Varlamov.
Good work down low. This is where the Little line has made their bread and butter in this game so far. Rotating out of the corners, maintaining puck possession. That was Little coming out of the back of the net for that last one. Block shots. Colorado has had 23 shots blocked. Now, the good side of that is that it means the Jets have time inside the offensive zone, that they have puck possession, and they're getting shots towards the net. The next problem is getting them through.
Stewart and Johnson lead that category for the Avs with 4 each, as this one right off the draw flutters into Varlamov's glove.
You see Johnson and Hayda on defense for Colorado. They were just put back together last game. They had not played together after playing together all season long last year and having a real strong game. They're the shutdown tandem. Patrick Waugh was looking for different combos, but those combos did not work. That one, the puck hits somebody on the bench here, so you got a quick whistle.
Erik Johnson's clearing attempt does end up in the Jets bench, and the faceoff back deep in the Colorado zone as Patrick Waugh looks on.
Yeah, he's test driving different combinations on defense and at forward, just like every coach is early in the year.
Their goals against through 8 games last year was 1.50. This year, 3.38. Pavlik plays this up the boards. McKinnon couldn't trap it. Here comes Scheifele. In on the offside with Wheeler. Bogosian joins the attack. It bounces outside the line, and now Enstrom has to try and hold it in. May have got tripped up there. Slap shot, Ryan O'Reilly, stopped by Pavlik. Landeskog for Ryan O'Reilly. Nathan McKinnon is in front. In a little tight to get a shot through. Redmond for Holden. Off of Wheeler and wide. Ryan O'Reilly leaves it. Back door! And Redmond couldn't get a stick on it. Kept in by Landeskog, no. Room down that left side. Perreault in on goal, trying to get it to Wheeler, and it got blocked. Perreault stays on it. Another pass got blocked. He has it again. Matthew Perreault tied up there by Holden. At the line, Klitzum will find Postma. He'll tee it up, and Varlamov makes the save. Lowry, Byfuglien jammed it into the blue paint. Postma trying to hold the line against McKinnon. He gets back up there from Thorburn. Back for Postma. In for Byfuglien. Thorburn after it deep in the Colorado zone for Big Adam Lowry. Lowry at the line, Klitzum to the front of the net. Byfuglien is there. Byfuglien tracks the loose puck down. Byfuglien takes a look, tried to get it to the side of the net. Thorburn, a backhander, and Varlamov may have got a left toe on that. Thorburn steals. Thorburn works it along the boards with Cody McLeod, and McLeod will jam it out the center and back into the Jet zone. Postma to center for Brian Little. Has a step on Stewart. In for Ladd. Ladd got a second whack after he fanned in the first. And Varlamov the save. Big hit by Byfuglien. And now Byfuglien is looking for takers.
Well, the boards were rattling on that one. There have been 3 times in this game already where Big Buff has used that body to complete effectiveness. The boards were shaking. You could hear the sound of it coming off the glass, and you could hear what the fans think about it. There are a lot of ways that Byfuglien can affect the game, and that's certainly one of them.
Tyson Barrie on the receiving end of the Dustin Byfuglien hit. 6th hit of the game for Byfuglien, who may be penalized.
A piece of him, he went down on the action. Stewart comes in. You better bring your family if you're going to go in against Dustin Byfuglien. He's ready for all of them, too.
So the Jets come out of it with a power play. John Mitchell picked up a double minor for roughing. Tyson Barrie appears to be okay.
Dustin Byfuglien was in a bad mood at times last game, too. We saw him body slam Radko Gudas right to the ice, and he took on all comers on that last shift.
The marks on his nose are from the battle with Radko Gudas on Friday. So a double minor for Mitchell, a single minor for Byfuglien, all for roughing, and the Jets will get their 3rd power play of the hockey game. Perreault out now with Ladd and Little. Enstrom and Trouba on the power play with Byfuglien in the penalty box, although Trouba the last few games has seen more room on the power play. Here comes in for Little from Perreault, and a rolling puck, and Little could not get enough of it to tuck it in the open side.
What a terrific heads-up play by Matthew Perreault. He had to have his head up in the neutral zone, or he would have had his lunch handed to him. He had just jumped by Brad Stewart there. Stewart stepped up on him. He had to set it. Watch this. Whoop, I see you coming. He slipped that punch really well. And then the pass across, I think, did get deflected just a little bit, enough so it wasn't easily controllable.
Little had inside position on Maxim Talbot, but could not get enough on that rolling puck. Trouba sends it in. Ladd back to the line for Toby Enstrom. Toby Enstrom back for Trouba off his stick. Gets it for Little. Alone in front is Ladd. It comes back to the line for Enstrom. Enstrom and Trouba switch spots. Perreault for Enstrom, and he mishandled that one, and it comes out the center. Quickly up for Perreault. Perreault back in. He got tripped up at the line. Little is on it. Little for Trouba. Trouba cross ice for Perreault. He tried to chip that backhander short side at the line. Trouba holds it in. Trouba away from Talbot. Trouba wide. Trouba looking to the line for Enstrom. And that blast goes off a leg of Alex Tanguay and out of play.
Tanguay's sort of glad he was able to block that shot, but he's hurting a little bit. It looks like it hit him in the front of the foot, but goes up and over. But Matthew Perreault makes a terrific, look at this, standing still. A nice little move. He could easily have been checked there and turned the puck over. He gets the puck inside the zone, and from there the Jets are able to control.
Paul Postma for Zach Bogosian. That did not get through. The amount of blocked shots in the National Hockey League now is incredible. And a lot of it is better shot blocking, but a lot of it is teams simply collapse to the middle of the ice.
Yeah, there's so many layers for it to get through. You can beat the first two and it might hit the third guy.
Postma couldn't keep that in.
That's a big reason, Dennis, why the one-timer is becoming a dinosaur very quickly. Unless you have an open spot sometimes from off the wing rather than the point, the chances of getting a one-timer through from the point are tough.
Ryan O'Reilly. Postma is in pursuit. O'Reilly on the wraparound. Throws it to the front of the net. And Bogosian got back. It ricocheted off of him and out of harm's way. One shot on that power play for the Jets. Bogosian knocked his man down. Scheifele for Postma. The lead pass in for Frolik. He's in behind, but he couldn't catch up to it as Hayda got there before Frolik could. Hayda bounces this back to the Jets line. 90 seconds left in a scoreless second period. Dennis Bayak, Brian Ingblom, Sarah Orleski, our TSN crew here at the MTS Center. Some Sunday afternoon hockey for you as the Avs and the Jets are in a 1-1 tie. Total of 6 matinees here at the MTS Center for the Jets this year, and now a penalty coming to the Winnipeg Jets.
That's a pretty good breakout for Colorado. That's what put the Jets on the wrong side. Looks like Haluschuk's the one going for a holding call, but it was Iginla down along the wall making a slick little play.
Winnipeg, 2 minutes holding.
Coming out of the zone and caused the Jets, when they thought they were on the forecheck, to actually be out on their way out of the zone. There's the hold. Before that, Ryan O'Reilly coming down shorthanded, coming out from behind the net. Jets did a good job to scramble back and make sure that pass in front wasn't effective.
Tyson Barrie, cross ice, slap shot, Pavlik the save, and the blast from Tanguay. Barrie is on it. Back for Tanguay for Matt Duchene. 3 goals on the year for Duchene. Back to Barrie, and this bounced away from him as it skipped. Barrie for Tanguay. It was the dying seconds of the opening period that the Avs scored a power play goal to tie the game. Gagliardi got bumped there. Makes his way over to the Jets bench. Appears to be okay. Duchene. Lead pass to Barrie. Barrie drops, and Jamie McGinn off a stick and into the netting in the corner here at the MTS Center.
A lot of respect shown both these teams in this second period. Both teams have made an adjustment, and that's why you've seen less of the river hockey back and forth at breakneck speed than we did in the first period. Teams are both better in the neutral zone, making it more difficult to gain that speed. And when the turnovers happen, they didn't happen as often in the second to cause the other team to go in the opposite direction.
Jets start a 4-game road trip against the Islanders on Tuesday, into New Jersey on Thursday. A reminder, we will not have a pregame show on those nights, as with the time change, Sports Center will lead us into the game telecast. Eric Johnson try to get it down low, intercepted, and Brian Little will send this all the way down the ice.
It's a good thing too, Dennis, because Bogosian had broken his stick. They were already down a man and he had no stick. They got it down just in time.
Stopped at the line as Enstrom stands up on the play, and that will bring the second period to an end. And just like they did to start the second period, the Avs will start the third period with 49 seconds this time left in the power play. Andrew Ladd and Jamie McGinn exchange goals in the opening period. Lots of physicality in the second period, but nothing behind either netminder. And 40 minutes comes to an end in a 1-1 tie. In a 1-1 tie as we get set to start period number 3. Paul Maurice is happy with the number of shots his team is giving up. Sometimes feels the quality of those shots is too good for the opponents. But Minnesota, St. Louis, and then Barry Trotz's team in Washington, and then the Winnipeg Jets in 7th spot.
Well, puck possession and a lack of turnovers, which is a good thing, that allows those types of numbers to happen. He said a funny thing yesterday, tongue-in-cheek. He said, I wonder if we'd be comfortable with a boring game. And while it hasn't been a boring game, especially that first period, he talked a lot about talking on the ice too, and defensive reads and gaps. And I think they've done a really good job, especially as this game has gone on in that department, which they did not against Tampa always.
Big face-off win right off the get-go by Brian Little, and that allows Mark Stewart to get it all the way down the ice. 35 seconds now left in the Colorado power play, their third power play of the game. Eric Johnson to the line. That's as far as he gets. Battle for a puck. Trouba gets it ahead for Andrew Ladd. And Ladd, who opened the scoring in this game with his second of the year, will send it down the ice. Holden ahead for Landeskog. The young captain sends it in and goes to the backboards with Toby Enstrom. Zach Bogosian is on it. Came to the front of the net, into the crease area. And Ondrej Pavelec is going to jump on that.
Nice job on the first rush by Colorado with Ladd standing up at the blue line along with Jacob Trouba. Little on the back check there. It was Trouba who stopped the initial chip in, went off his leg, and then the combination of those two guys got the puck out of the zone. Holding the line when you're killing the penalty is a big advantage if you can do it. Force offsides and, of course, get it back down the ice.
Winnipeg Jets have only scored 2 third-period goals this season as they find themselves in a 1-1 tie. One shot on that last power play for the Avs as Matt Halishuk makes his way back to the Jets bench out of the penalty box. Bogosian has it in his skates. Enstrom up for Bogosian, got away from him. Duchesne couldn't handle it cleanly, and Byfuglien chops it cross ice, and Thorburn will one touch for Enstrom. Back for Zach Bogosian. Bogosian getting pressured there by Duchesne. It hit the referee, and then Byfuglien's going to have to hurry back into his own zone. Byfuglien gets tied up by Iginla, and now Enstrom gets it. Finally to center, and finally into the Colorado zone for Adam Lowry. Off the side of the net, and Matt Duchesne takes it. Duchesne with Lowry after him. Avs are in a change. That will give Mark Stewart a little bit of room to skate it out. Stewart to center with Andrew Ladd. To the line and in. Ladd trying to get it to Brian Little. Tight quarters. On the loose puck is Frolik for Trouba. Trouba in a goal, and he whistled that one wide. Stewart to the front of the net. Little try to redirect. And it's cleared into the center ice area.
Boy, big opportunity missed by Trouba there. He had penetration and room on the far side. That's got to hit the net.
But there's another byproduct now of not being able to score. You're looking for the corner. Here comes Stewart, the shot. Varlamov the save. Trouba lets it go through traffic, blocked in front. Little tried to control it to get it back to Trouba, and John Mitchell is there to clear. Trouba, he had 10 last year. In for Scheifele, bounces to the front of the net, and Varlamov is going to snare it and hang on to it.
Trouba coming with speed from the back end, adding to that rush. But prior to that, watch him move in from the blue line. See how much room he's got. He fakes the shot. That backs the defenders off. Gets his head up. Does this get deflected? I don't think it did, but you made a good point, Dennis. When you're not scoring, the team isn't scoring, you tend to cut it a little bit too finely. With that kind of traffic going to the front of the net, you have to at least hit the goaltender, not miss it on the outside of the post.
7 shot attempts in this game for Trouba. 2 have been on Varlamov. Boy, that came through traffic, and that just went wide as Enstrom let it go. Enstrom trying to break it up at the line. Duchesne sends this through. Iginla the blast, and a save made by Ondrej Pavelec. Wheeler off the glass and out to center. Tanguay puts it back into his own end for Zach Redmond. Matthew Perreault is after Redmond, and Holden gets the puck onto Iginla. For Duchesne, back to Iginla, slap shot wide. Rebound, Karams all the way out to center. Johnson sends it back in. Pavelec was not going to wait for the bounce as he came out to grab that midair. Byfuglien on the redirect, it doesn't get deep. Enstrom following up. Byfuglien plays it back for Zach Bogosian. Just not a lot of room in the neutral zone. And this will go all the way on Varlamov, and with Lowry and Thorburn coming in, Varlamov is going to hold it.
Ondrej Pavelec has made some really key saves. The last one on Jerome Iginla. You don't score 562 goals in this league by being silly or frivolous. You know what timing is all about. Look at Tanguay doing a really nice job there being patient. And it was a Ginla waiting in the weeds up top. You don't always just charge to the front of the net and get your scoring chances that way. It's about timing and finding space. And Ginla did it. Tanguay got him the puck, and that was a big save by Pavlik.
Sometimes forget Ginla was a Dallas draft pick.
Yeah.
Initially.
Traded for Nieuwendyk.
Played for the Kamloops Blazers of the Western Hockey League. Another shot that didn't get through. Ryan O'Reilly for Landeskog, and Gabe Landeskog sends it in. Erik Johnson trying to join the attack. Johnson got spilled in behind the Jets net. He's a little slow to get up, and the Jets start back with Frolik and Little. Trouba now joins the rush. Little in the slot, and a low shot just went wide as Erik Johnson desperately trying to get out of the Jet zone into the bench.
Oh, and he is foggy-headed, I can tell you. Mark Stewart was also shaken up on the play. He went right to the bench.
And Ondrej Pavlik may have got shaken up on that last blast from Ryan O'Reilly. That was a little high. But what a chance for Brian Little that went wide. Byfuglien, as Cody McLeod got that puck tied up in his skates. Byfuglien turns, fires, and that's off the shin pads of Brad Stewart and out the center.
Landeskog and Andrew Ladd really going at it here right in front of me. Landeskog didn't like a hit by Andrew Ladd, saying he jumped on the play. Ladd's denied, and of course, it's heating up down here.
Brad Stewart, Thorburn, Byfuglien, and Lowry out for the Jets. Marc-Andre Cliche, the long wrister into the glove of Ondrej Pavlik, and Pavlik is going to hang on to that.
Yeah, Pavlik, I think, wanted a little bit of a break. I think you picked up on something good there, Dennis. He wasn't quite right either. But let's look at Stewart and Johnson, the collision in the end wall. It really shook up Erik Johnson. There's Johnson, number 6. Stewart can't find the puck. Gives him a push, which is okay. But look how awkwardly he fell. Very slow to get up on the play. The play was well down on his end of the ice. They didn't blow it dead because he did get up. Stewart got whacked with a stick at the same time.
And Erik Johnson has gone to the Avs dressing room to get some attention. And you're right, the stick came up and caught Mark Stewart.
Well, you have to deal with injuries all the time. Patrick Wall will have to adjust. It looks like Stewart's okay. He's going to stay in the lineup. Takes an awful lot to knock that guy out of the lineup.
Vander Kane, the only Jets player on IR. Adam Hardy not dressed. Anthony Peluso's banged up, not on IR, though. He's out of the lineup. And Patrice Cormier, recalled yesterday from the St. John's Ice Caps, is not in the lineup. Just a little bit of backup for the road trip. Sometimes easier to get players into your hometown and let them start the road trip with you than try and bring them in midstream if needed. Jamie McGinn to the front of the net. That got steered away. Gagliardi ahead for Halushchuk to the line, no further. Paul Postma settles the puck down, gets it for Klitzums. Klitzums' pass up the middle was intercepted. Back in for Maxim Talbot, backhand shot high, and Paul Postma to the corner boards. Taken by Maxim Talbot, he tried to drag it to the front of the net, could not. John Mitchell is on the loose puck though. Mitchell to the line, Redmond's shot blocked in front of the net by Klitzum. Klitzum on for Halushchuk. Halushchuk had trouble with that puck, got it finally settled down, and now we'll get a line change for both these teams. Redmond to center. Redmond pulls away from Slater. It's turned over at the line, and this is back to the Colorado blue line. Duchesne trying to find a little bit of speed. Ondrej Pavlik will play it for Bogosian. Chips it on, and Scheifele has it. Looks rink wide for Wheeler. Wheeler into the Colorado zone. Wheeler, cross ice, Scheifele off the goal post. Great setup by Wheeler, and Scheifele finds nothing but pipe. Put to the front of the net where Perreault was, but he couldn't control it. Bogosian holds it in. After it is Perreault trying to get it to Scheifele. Bogosian, the wrist shot, and that went wide. Again, let it clear. Knocked down by Wheeler and held in. Bounces around. Perreault tried to knock it deep, but Jarome Iginla takes over for the Avs. What a chance for Scheifele. Stewart to center and no further. Following up, though, Wheeler gets it deep and hits to the bench. Out comes Frolik. Ryan O'Reilly with pressure coming just sends it back into the Jet zone. Got an Avs bounce and never did go for icing. Trouba.
Must have used a 60-degree wedge there. Great backspin.
Trouba's pass for Little failed to work. Now Stewart to the sideboards again, but Ryan O'Reilly for Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon trying to get around Little, and it's in front of the net, and Trouba starts right back for the Jets. Ahead for Frolik and in. Frolik after Nick Holden in the corner. Little follows up on the play and finds Ladd in the far corner. Back for Frolik. To the front of the net. Save, rebound. Andrew Ladd jumps on the loose puck. Ladd in front of the net. Frolik had his stick lifted. Enstrom looking for the carom. It came to the front of the net. Frolik was in a little deep, and then he was tied up by Holden. And now the Avs just get rid of it to center. Enstrom back for Thorburn, spun around at center. Cleach back in for the Avs. Lowry gets there first and gets it for Thorburn. Looking for the bank pass to Byfuglien. And Byfuglien on a rolling puck couldn't carry it in. And Byfuglien now watches it go back as felt maybe his stick was held at the line. And icing called against the Avs. What a chance for Scheifele.
Mark Scheifele made that play coming out of the zone too. What a brilliant pass right here. Threads the needle right on the tape at high speed to Wheeler. That's what really started it. And then Wheeler hangs on and has so much patience. Scheifele comes from behind and gets a great scoring chance and rips it off the near side post.
So the play was called icing. They've now ruled that it was not icing. So we will take a commercial break and pay some bills. 1-1 here in the third. Shop at Safeway today. Watch future Jets on TSN telecasts. You could win an all-inclusive trip for two to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner. Schedule gets busy for the Winnipeg Jets after this game today. They will play 7 in 12 days, 12 or 17 in 32 days. And 12 of those 17 will be on the road. Cleared in by Paul Postma. Brad Stewart, who leads the Avs in blocked shots with 6, as the Avs have now blocked 31. Dustin Byfuglien trying to bank that off a body in front. Postma at the line, the wrist shot. Varlamov the same. Adam Lowry got knocked down by Mitchell. Postma's going to try and hold it in, can't. And Klitsum takes it at center. Through for Matthew Perreault. Byfuglien is headed to the front of the net. Redirect by Byfuglien, just went wide. Byfuglien chops at it on the near side. And down is Varlamov. And a train wreck in front of the goal.
Well done by Byfuglien and by Perreault at the same time, because Perreault made that nice pass quickly into the middle, and Byfuglien just one-touched it towards the net. Varlamov tracked it really well, made a big glove save here on the turnover in the neutral zone. Watch Perreault, moves to the outside, watch Byfuglien come into the middle. He gets it away right away. I thought that ticked off the glove maybe of Varlamov. Buff didn't quite get everything that he wanted on it, but it was the right idea. It wasn't laying flat when it came to him, and then he just bowled his way to the front of the net.
Bogosian now out on defense as we look at Varlamov, who has stopped 19 of 20 in this game. 41 wins last year for Varlamov, led the NHL in that category. Jarome Iginla, the center and into the Jet zone. Andre Pavlik plays it up the boards, taken by Scheifele. On for Wheeler, on for Bogosian. To the red line and in. Scheifele's going to be first on the puck with Holden. Scheifele trying to tie it up. Nice outlet pass, and here comes Iginla. Looking for a little bit of help. Sends it in. Redmond is drilled into the sideboards. Good hit there. And Wheeler, who had the hit, gets the puck and gives it to Matthew Perreault. Perreault ahead for Scheifele. Scheifele trying to drag it through and got stopped as he tried to split the defense. Tanguay was back there to help out. Under 10 now to go here in the third. Barry. Cross ice pass. Sent in by Landeskog. After it goes Nathan MacKinnon. Back for Landeskog. Little is on him. Landeskog for MacKinnon. Off his stick, and Frolik is after it. Frolik. Back for Trouba. Trouba, who led the Jets in ice time against Tampa at over 25 minutes. Barry gets it back for Stewart. Left wing pass misses everyone. Player changes now for both teams, and Mark Stewart has the puck. Gets to the red line and pumps it in. Stewart with Lowry after him. Thorburn knocks it free. Lowry chases it to the corner. Back for Thorburn, trying to spin away from Barry. Now on the puck is Byfuglien. Byfuglien back for Thorburn. Thorburn got tripped up by Varlamov. Thorburn stays on it. At the line, Klitzum. Right side, Postma. Trying to find a lane to the net. None there. Lowry. As they get the cycle going, Byfuglien outmuscles his man. Oh, and Postma was in from the line, and the pass was in behind him.
Postma moving a little too quickly. He went right past the seam. Byfuglien put it in the seam.
Byfuglien cross ice for Gagliardi. To the forehand. Varlamov save on the short side. Talbot sends it up the boards, and McGinn chops it back into the Jet zone. 8 to go in the third, and a 1-1 tie. Klitzum now getting pressured up the boards for Slater. At center, Gagliardi. Halishchuk chases it into the Colorado zone. Gets some help from Gagliardi. Slater after McGinn. And McGinn just puts it over top of Jacob Trouba and back into the Jet zone. Sent in deep by Trouba. Varlamov stops it. Trouba's going to get inside position on Maxim Talbot. Talbot gets a little bit of help from Duchesne, who's being hounded there by Scheifele. Lead pass too far, and this will be icing against Colorado, so a tired line for the Avs will not be able to change.
Breakneck speed and action in this third period again. Both teams really going at it hard, looking for an opening. Blake Wheeler and Scheifele, Perreault continue to create opportunities offensively, make some really good passes. Byfuglien with another good shift on his last shift out.
This was the line that had 17 shots on goal against Tampa on Friday. Jan Hejda sends it up the boards, but pinching it to hold it in there was Toby Enstrom. After the loose puck is Scheifele. Scheifele to the front of the net. Rebound, Varlamov. Big left pad save off of Mark Scheifele. Hejda clears. Bogosian holds it in. Scheifele, and he rifled that one high. Varlamov had no idea where it was. And now the Avs will get a change in. Wheeler trying to chop it out. Wheeler stays on it. Scheifele. Enstrom and back for Scheifele. In across the line. Kicked away by Varlamov. Scheifele stays on it. Trouba's in from the line. Squeezes by Hejda. Ladd for Trouba. Wheeler is still out there. Wheeler is on it. Trouba! And he couldn't get a good shot away as his stick was being tied up. Ladd back for Stewart, but now Wheeler is dog-tired and makes his way off the ice finally. At the line, Ryan O'Reilly for Landeskog. Landeskog in on Trouba to the short side. Save made by Pavlik, and Pavlik is going to hang on to it. So Blake Wheeler with some good offensive chances, and he joins in on the hit parade as he rocks his former teammate into the soccer ball.
Shift by Mark Scheifele last time out. Determination and skill. Look at him, dogged determination here on Iginla. Gets help from Wheeler, walks it out of the corner, makes something out of nothing, and very nearly has the go-ahead goal. Gets up, he's already tired. The puck is going to hit him, spins around, and just whistles one off Varlamov right by his ear. Scared the heck out of him. Scheifele, every shift, something good happens.
He had 3 shots on that last shift. The line now has combined for 7 shots in this game. 4 by Scheifele, 2 by Wheeler, and 1 by Perreault. Slater out now to take the face-off, wins it. And Postma will send it back for Grant Klitzum. Up for Dustin Byfuglien. That pass got intercepted. Klitzum's going to try it again. All sorts of Avalanche players converging on Klitzum on that far side. Redmond for Tyson Barrie. Nice spinorama by Barrie, and he's going to lead the attack. Barrie trying to split the defense, gets a shot away, and Pavlik had to get a piece of that one. Good rush there by Tyson Barrie. For Zach Redmond, Avs minus Eric Johnson. He was injured earlier in this period.
And because of that, he's a left-hand shot, so they're down a left-handed D. That's why Tyson Barrie's playing the wrong side right now. He's right-handed on the left side.
In across the line for Duchesne, and offside called against the Colorado Avalanche.
Let's take a look at the last shift of Tyson Barrie. This kid has got tremendous skill. He had a great year for the Avalanche last year. He had a spinorama, brings the puck up the ice. He got hurt in the playoffs against Minnesota on a knee-on-knee contact by Cook. And a big reason the Avalanche thought they lost that series in Game 7 because they didn't have him in the last couple of games. His ability to get pucks out of the zone, which was a big problem against Minnesota, really hurt them.
Tyson Barrie closing in on 18 minutes of ice time in this game. Does have an assist on the Jamie McGinn goal.
His confidence level went to a whole new level last year. His ability to get up on the play. Patrick Waugh handled him really well. He'd been kind of fickle the year before about when to go, when to get involved offensively. And when if you're an offensive guy and you don't play well offensively, you end up not playing well defensively either, and then you don't get any ice time.
Barrie, another former Kelowna Rocket defenseman that has made his way to the NHL. 3-on-2 Jets, and a pass hopped away from Andrew Ladd. Enstrom is in from the line, got knocked down. Hayda around the boards, but Brian Little is there to block it. Duchesne follows up. Duchesne for Holden. He'll jam it onto Iginla, and Iginla will get it inside the Jets line.
Toby Enstrom took a little run at Iginla because it was Iginla that took out Enstrom along the wall.
Cross ice pass picked off. Landeskog, and he rifled that one high. Ladd is on it in his own zone. They head for Frolik, and Frolik will just play this to open ice. Jets are trying to get a change in. Here comes Barrie, drops it back for Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon, no room cross ice, sends it down low to Landeskog. Landeskog for MacKinnon. Staying on him was Wheeler, and now finally Scheifele on it. And Scheifele comes back. Scheifele to the line, in with Wheeler. Wheeler plays it deep, and after it goes Matthew Perreault. Perreault is going to get a penalty for taking down Brad Stewart. And the Avs will go to the power play. Here comes Barrie. And now Wheeler will touch it. And a penalty in behind the Colorado goal.
Matthew Perreault late in the game takes a penalty in the offensive zone, but boy, this was a tough one. Paul Maurice was not happy. He's still working the referees. He's got body position. He's inside. Yeah, he pushes a little, but then there's just a little bit of a tangle up. He even pulled away, his hands away, but he still got nailed. And then Bogosian before that coming out of the zone, bad idea. Cross-ice pass when you're not sure. Landeskog was poaching in the neutral zone. Turned it back the other way and blew it right over the net.
Colorado 1 for 3 on the power play. This is their 4th opportunity with 3:32 to go in the 3rd period. Slater wins the draw. Trouba ahead for Mark Stewart. Stewart gets it to Gagliardi, and Gagliardi will chop a rolling puck down the ice.
Face-offs. If you can win a couple of face-offs in your own zone, it's about 15 seconds each time. That was a big one.
Barrie to the line for Iginla. Iginla, as Mark Stewart hustles back and gives Iginla a bump and puts him off stride. Duchesne, cross ice feed, nice read by Jacob Trouba. Sends it ahead to Gagliardi with Slater. 2-on-1, short-handed. Gagliardi fires high short side, misses the net. Boy, and then the Jets got a break that had hit a stanchion and stayed in the Colorado zone. Or the Avs may have been off on an odd man rush. Cleared all the way down the ice by Gagliardi.
Good work by the penalty killers. When you can put the fear of God in the opposite team because of a shorthanded opportunity, that's what Gagliardi and Slater just did.
Jets do have one shorthanded goal, and all year they have created scoring chances while killing. Back to the line. Ryan O'Reilly for Nick Holden. Holden for Landeskog. 40 seconds in the power play. Ryan O'Reilly spins, centers, and unable to get a stick on that with Stewart, and here comes Ladd. Ladd shorthanded, little to the front of the net, and the pass across was blocked. Ladd now bumped in the corner by Holden, and that allows the Avs to bring it back with Landeskog. To the line, Stewart holds him up, pile up at the line, and offside against the Avs.
Good forced offside there, but that last shift between Slater and Gagliardi did a great job, but they didn't really sort it out. They both wanted the puck, so they end up both coming in from a really bad angle. Gagliardi should have delayed and gone into the middle of the ice. They would have had a lot better chance. This is the second one. Ladd's on his backhand, tries to shovel it in the middle, but he had a lot of pressure coming from behind him, and the play didn't work.
Brad Stewart sends this into the Jet zone. Wheeler for Trouba, sends it around to Mark Scheifele. Scheifele having trouble with a rolling puck up against those boards. At the line, Stewart the shot blocked by Trouba. Out of the penalty box is Perreault. Following up now, Scheifele. Perreault, good job to get onside. No shots on that power play. Scheifele tripped up, or rather, tripped up on the play was Wheeler, and now a power play coming for the Winnipeg Jets.
Some really heads-up plays by a lot of guys. It started with Trouba breaking the play up by intercepting the shot pass inside his own zone and throwing it up the ice with Perreault coming out of the penalty box. And then it ends with this play. Scheifele giving it to Wheeler. Talbot back-checking on the backside. He just gives him a little bit of a slap. He ends up with the penalty. Or, oh no, I guess Mitchell ended up with it. Excuse me, it was a trip. I thought Talbot was going to get it there for a second. But the Jets doing a series of really good things there to get the puck off the ice, to finish off the penalty kill, and turn it into an offensive opportunity.
And how many times have we said this, Brian, that with your power play doesn't always mean how many you get. It's when you get them, and boy, the Winnipeg Jets with a great opportunity here on their fourth power play of the game as John Mitchell sits in the penalty box. And anxious moments for Matthew Perreault, and now some anxious moments for John Mitchell.
And Mitchell's one of their best face-off guys, and he's a penalty killer as well, too. So that'll affect the rotation penalty kill-wise for Patrick Roy. But for the Jets here, obviously it starts with the face-off. Real intense face-off here. Get it under control, and put them under pressure for as long as you have. You only have 118 in regulation on this power play to start.
So the fans into it here, Sunday afternoon hockey at the MTS Center. Brian Little, 67% in the face-off department this afternoon, wins this one. Enstrom for Byfuglien. Byfuglien to the front, save, rebound. Wheeler's on the loose puck, plays it to the sideboards, and Enstrom gets beaten to that loose puck as Talbot will get it out. Back in Byfuglien for Ladd, trying to cut around Brad Stewart. After it is Wheeler, pile up in the corner, and the puck is loose and grabbed off by Talbot. As Brad Stewart slow to get up, back in the Colorado zone. Enstrom rattles this one in. Round on the boards, Little jams it up with Cody McLeod. Hayden is there. Wheeler's trying to dig it out of the pile. Does Enstrom. For Wheeler. Tried to get it to Byfuglien, and that didn't work, and it's gloved down the ice by Cleach.
When you're Wheeler in that situation, he was jammed by the pass. He doesn't have it under control. Going diagonal across the box is a bad idea. That's where everybody is. You got to keep it outside.
Enstrom trying to send that in. That goes off a stick into the netting, and the faceoff will be outside the line. They may readjust the clock a little bit, get it over the 6-second mark.
Boy, great intensity in this entire game, really, but down the stretch here in this third period, both teams really giving it to each other. There's been a lot of animosity, too, a lot of yakking going on. There's been some heavy hitting, which usually brings that animosity out. We're going right down on the wire.
Colorado has lost in overtime this season to Toronto and to Florida. And as far as the Winnipeg Jets are concerned, this will be their first extra time action of the young season. 1-1 overtime. When we come back, Jets will stay on the power play. So a 1-1 tie as each team has picked up a point. They'll play for the second. Andrew Ladd and Jamie McGinn. There's your two goal getters. Andrew Ladd all the way back in the opening period as the Jets get the cycle going in that Colorado zone. And Bogosian to the front of the net, the tip by Ladd. Second time this year Ladd has opened the scoring in a game. His second of the year. That came at 6:25 of the opening period. And then right off the face-off on a power play, Jamie McGinn gets loose and tracks a loose puck down out of the pile and gets it stick side on Ondrej Pavelec. So it'll be another one-goal game. All 5 meetings last year between these two teams decided by 1 goal. The line of Byfuglien, Lowry, and Thorburn put together before this game. And we've mentioned this earlier tonight. Blake Wheeler, 2 overtime winners last year against Colorado. This was late December as Wheeler put that one in, and this was in March. As he waits, and scores. That was our play of the year on TSN as far as the Winnipeg Jets were concerned. And now you'll notice some differences here for this overtime. They have switched ends, and there's also a dry scrape of the ice surface.
And Wheeler will have a chance to hold on because this is a 4-on-3 to start this overtime because of the penalty.
42 seconds in the power play, and here comes Wheeler. Into the slot for Little. Little looking for Andrew Ladd, and it got picked off.
After the fact, so easy to say. Shoot the puck when you're in the slot. Would have been brilliant had it worked, but it didn't.
Little drops for Byfuglien. Byfuglien winds it into the Colorado zone for Ladd for Byfuglien. Byfuglien to the front of the net for Little, deflected away. At the line for Wheeler. Wheeler with 10 seconds in the power play for Byfuglien. Back to Wheeler. Down for Ladd. Now to Wheeler to Byfuglien. Varlamov the save. Rebound. Byfuglien is on it. Out of the penalty box is Mitchell. 1 shot on the power play. Wheeler unloads, blocked by Stewart, and cleared out to center ice. Teams back to 4-on-4. Byfuglien looks for some open ice. Byfuglien carries wide. Byfuglien in on Hayda. On the loose puck is Scheifele. Tied up there by Nick Holden. Byfuglien trying to work it free. Tight quarters in the Colorado zone. Look out in behind Enstrom was O'Reilly, now in for Landeskog. Stopped by Ondrej Pavelec. Landeskog in behind Scheifele here in overtime. Bogosian now around Hayda. Bogosian to the short side. Scheifele on the rebound. Frolik gets tripped and play goes on. Here comes Frolik in with Scheifele. Scheifele in the slot, and the shot went off a stick. Here comes Duchesne for Iginla. Iginla cross ice, and unable to get a stick on that was Zach Redmond. To the goal line, Duchesne. Bury the shot. Save made, Pavelec.
Ondrej Pavelec with a couple of outstanding saves, game-saving saves as they were under pressure. The Jets, great scoring chance too, right off the opening face-off to start this overtime. Well constructed here. Wheeler gets it in the middle. Little waits and fakes. Tries to get it over to Ladd, and well defended by Stewart. And then in the neutral zone, the turnover, and really slick move there by Landeskog on Scheifele. Scheifele was with him, but Landeskog stripped him for a second and got that chance, and Ondrej Pavelec with 2 big saves.
Taken by Trouba. Byfuglien on the point here in overtime. On defense with Trouba. Trouba does have an overtime winner in his young career. Wheeler to the front of the net. Wheeler Trying to work the defenseman Stewart. Wheeler looking. Wheeler still has it. Fakes the drop to Byfuglien. Matthew Perreault cleared out from the front of the net. Byfuglien is on the loose puck. Byfuglien watched by Nathan MacKinnon. Leaves it for Wheeler. Back for Trouba. Byfuglien to the front of the net. Trouba's going to try and get it there. Trouba wide, wraparound try. Perreault a whack at it. And Varlamov makes the save.
Terrific puck possession by the Winnipeg Jets inside the zone. If you can't get in the middle, well, you might as well go around the outside a while, see if something breaks. That was the way the play ended at the end with Trouba trying to go for the wraparound with Byfuglien in front of the net. Good idea to jam it when Bufflin's there.
Zach Redmond. Watched by Ladd. Holden back for Redmond. Ladd is in for the steal. In for Toby Enstrom. For Brian Little. For Zach Bogosian. In front, Ladd trying with the tip. Varlamov the save. Ladd in on Holden. Little there to help out. They jam it up in the corner. Bogosian is in from the line. Ladd couldn't work it to the middle of the ice. McGinn for Redmond. Redmond puts on the brakes. Jets start a change. Redmond with a little bit of room finds Mitchell. Mitchell and Enstrom. And now Zach Bogosian picks up the chase. Enstrom trying to tie up Landeskog does. And taking the puck is Zach Bogosian. Scheifele and Wheeler up front. Enstrom to the line. In for Wheeler! And had his stick lifted right at the end. 2-on-1. Byfuglien is back. Landeskog, cross ice speed looking for Ryan O'Reilly. Pavlik may be hurt.
Blake Wheeler was coming back 100 miles an hour. And a lot of commotion going on in front of Ondrej Pavlik. I think he's okay. He sensed or saw, and Wheeler gives him a pat on the head because he dove, and it was really ill-advised. Pavlik jumped about 4 feet in the air. It was a line change, so Byfuglien was just coming out on the ice. Well, look at Wheeler, top of your screen. He is at full speed. Here comes Byfuglien. Pavlik has to happen. All that. He gets one leg out of the way at least. He was airborne there. Pavlik was. Protected himself against his own guy, Wheeler. But look at Wheeler. Wheeler came back and knocked that puck out of midair to stop the 2-on-1. What a terrific effort there by Blake Wheeler, who is always gas pedal right to the floor.
Colorado has called a 30-second timeout, and Pavlik does appear to be okay.
Remarkable effort, just remarkable, because Wheeler started off on his knees in the slot because he had that scoring chance, but it was thwarted. He ends up down on his knees, gets back up, and just hauls it. And he's one of the fastest players in the league. Fortunately for him, remarkable that under high speed, when you're tired, you have the eye-hand coordination to knock the puck out of the air. Extraordinary.
Jets were 5-4 last year in games that ended in overtime. Blake Wheeler had 2 of those winners. Little to take the face-off with Duchesne. Little 67%, and the Jets control this one off the draw. Byfuglien carries it in. Byfuglien drops Ladd to the short side, just missed. Trouba. Byfuglien away from him, but Little waits for it. Back for Byfuglien. Watched by Duchesne. Byfuglien away from Duchesne. Byfuglien a little bit of room. And Duchesne, good job to stay with Byfuglien. Now a backhander by Little. And the second one is chipped wide. Ladd to the front of the net. Score! Took a while to get across the goal line, but the Jets win it with 24.2 left in overtime.
This shot crawls right up Varlamov and down the backside and into the net. Ladd looping out of the corner. A little bit of a backhand there. It was a screen in front. Varlamov got a piece of it. It kind of rolled up him and went through him. See, does Little get a piece of it in front of the net? Not sure. Did it hit somebody's foot? Possible. The bottom line is it ended up in the back of the net for Andrew Ladd. Tremendous pressure. They used this circular attack in the overtime especially to great success. Wheeler was doing it, Buffalo was doing it, and then Andrew Ladd uses it to perfection.
So the Jets send the crowd here at the MTS Center home happy as Brian Little has been given credit for the overtime goal. It went off of Little, bounced around, Ladd gets the assist, but the bottom line is the Winnipeg Jets pick up a much-needed win as they defeat the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 2-1. It ends the 5-game homestand for the Winnipeg Jets as they will now head out on a 4-game road trip starting Tuesday on Long Island, and we will have it for you on TSN 3. Ladd with a goal and an assist. Brian Little with his 5th of the year. The Jets win it 2-1 as we say good afternoon from Winnipeg.